Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So today we're going to be continuing with the Marianas game, which I didn't mean to actually open up in windowed, so I'm going to have to reopen that. It's been really exciting so far. It has been exciting. Things are definitely getting rather interesting. We did take some losses, we did take some hits last turn. That is for certain. Was it the Alabama? I think the Alabama took a torpedo. We did have some battleships take hits as well, namely all the battleships, but the thing is these battleships are, of all the things we have, they are the things that are most capable of taking these kinds of hits, so it's not too bad. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the actual turn over here and see how things turned out. Now, I don't know, I kind of feel like the combined fleet carriers were going to be headed north. We did see actual cruiser forces headed north. It seems as if he is trying to bait us away with the carriers. I'm refusing to sort of play ball. I did play ball by heading south. That was potentially a mistake, especially by not having the carrier forces really go together. Combined, I should say. But we did deal a pretty heavy blow against his own carrier force. We did actually bomb two of his actual carriers. Now, that's going to cause some issues. You can see here that the carriers have split. There's actually a few forces been split over here, so he's definitely breaking apart his formation here. It looks like an element is potentially headed towards where our carriers were, as far as I can tell. But the thing is, we're not playing ball with that one. We are headed away. We have the other carrier group approaching from the northeast-ish, kind of like out of this direction. The idea behind that is we change it up. We don't play by his rules. Right, so move into the day phase here pretty damn quickly, actually. Not a bad thing, I suppose you could say. The less things that happen at night, the better. So air operations here. Right, torpedo bomber supposedly, yeah, looks like he has moved his carriers north. At least as far as I can tell, it might be due to the aircraft over here. We do have our CVEs moving around as well. We do have our own carrier force as well here. I think this would be the main carrier force. Yeah, land barge hit. Yeah, there we go. Japanese ships over here. This is what I generally expected, something like this, so I feel it was the right decision to head north. But we did move a carrier group to try and intercept the enemy here. But we'll see what happens. I need to clear out the actual defenders around Taipan. I need to clear out those actual ships. Now, what I'm hoping to be able to do is actually be able to rearm the battleships and the surface ships so we can go and clear the waters around Taipan. Or at least escort our forces in there. We have a lot of reports here, so this is very good news. At least we'll have a good picture of what's going on. A Japanese submarine reported hit there. Excellent. But yeah, we can see that there is, I don't know, that might be the cruiser force that we saw. It might even be Yamato. Okay, so we do see, looks like he's running a strafe with 865s. We do have Hellcats and we have Wildcats in response here. 13 to 20. It's going to be a bare knuckle fight. But we do have the armor here. We do have the firepower. We do actually have the performance. I mean, the Wildcat and the Hellcat, they are very good aircraft. They are very tough fighters. Not very maneuverable, but my god, when they get lined up behind you, yeah, you are going to know about that. It looks like he's going to be potentially trying to test our combat air patrol again. So we may have to expect additional bombers. Yep, 0 damaged. Yep, another 0 out of the sky. Diving on the A6M. And the one bites the dust. Now, as soon as I can get the airfield up again ready, then things will definitely change. I'll be able to actually have the combat air patrol come from the island itself, which would be excellent. I mean, not only that, we'll be able to make use of our heavy bombers, which is going to be very, very good there. Okay, so we do just shoot down at least 4 of the zeros over here as far as we're aware, and we suffer no losses in return. So not bad. It looks like it came from potentially Guam, as far as I can tell. Yeah, carrier aircraft. Zeros coming in. Those are some very outnumbered zeros there. Notice this was picked up by radar, it seems. Yeah, they're very, very much outnumbered. I mean, speed makes a tremendous difference here. Yeah, that's one of them down. Wildcat diving. Right, she's damaged, and she bolts due to damage. Can't blame her. Yeah, here we go. Now, the good news is we do have more fighters in response here. This is coming from Iojima, as far as I can tell. But we do have more fighters here to reply. We are facing 13 A6 and 2 zeros. A number of D4Y1s. Right, some of our Wildcats are damaged, but we need to fight them back. We need to fight them off. Ideally, we will have the numbers to really stop the same kind of damage he inflicted on us last time. We'll see about that. He's not going to have the same numbers. He did take losses, which was good. And we do have more fighters this time, which is even better. Yeah, Wildcat spins away on fire, unfortunately, so we do lose a Wildcat there, potentially. But we are fighting over our own airfield, so it's not as likely for us to lose things. That's another one now. Okay, these A6M2s are doing pretty good, actually. Yep, critical hit on the Wildcat there. I wonder if this is due to the altitude. There's one shot down there. So we are taking losses in this one here. The Hellcats don't look to be engaged as of yet. Right, Zero spins away on fire. 4 more Wildcats arrive. More Hellcats arrive. Yeah, here we go. Hellcats are now getting involved in the action. Ooh, one of them spins away on fire. Not good. Yeah, these Zeros are actually doing a really good job so far. They do have the cannons. So, of all the Japanese aircraft, they're probably most able. Obviously, the Zeros have different models. I mean, had he had better aircraft out here, he would have been in a better position, but he needs cannon to really do anything much against American aircraft. Otherwise, you can't just tickle in them. But we do have the number of fighters, and quality is going to win out here, as well as the numerical superiority we have. Yeah, there you go. Starting to see the numbers evening out for us. That's another Zero down. Yeah, once we get in amongst the actual dive bombers, it'll be pretty quick. Ideally, we shoot down all his fighter escorts, and then he will probably have his bombers either turn away, or they'll just be taken out, ideally. But we have taken a few losses here. He has been fighting us pretty hard and effectively with these Zeros. Interesting to see the A6M2s doing better than the A6M5s. Not terribly better platforms, really. They're just like a tweaking of them, really. Improvements of performance, etc. But nothing like categorically like, whoa, you know what I mean? There we go. Just one more Zero left, and then we'll be able to get to the D4Y1s. Yep, there we go. And now it's just the D4Y1s. Which will not last long here, but they are pretty good aircraft. But at the end of the day, they're not fighters. And there we go. More Wildcats arriving. There we go, and the raid is destroyed there. So we did lose some aircraft there. It's telling us one Wildcat was lost, but I think we did take some... we definitely took some damage there. Yeah, we do see an aircraft over here. But that was good there. At least we prevent that raid, but I imagine more will be coming. Right, yeah. This is what we wanted here. So we're able to ideally just answer them straight up with fighters. They may still get past us, so we do have to bear that in mind, but the more we can shoot down, the better. Yeah, damaged. Destroyed. Yeah, I can't catch the bomber. I mean, they are good aircraft. Come on, that's another one down. More Hellcats joining in. Hellcats and Wildcats having a busy day today. Ooh, critical hit there, and down. Yep. Looks like a good day for us to be destroying Japanese aircraft. I feel dirty saying that. I feel dirty. But there we go. Looks like we shot almost all of them down. Very good news there. Okay, so it looks like we're moving into aircraft operations PM. Now, I want to know what this is really. Japanese ships down here. Okay. D4Y1s. So I imagine this is the combat air patrol from the CVEs, which is good news. A good few duties shot down this turn. Engine going out, guns jammed. There we go, another one down. And another one down, fantastic. Very good, man, very good. So what mission were they on, Ben? So, afternoon air attack on Task Force near began, okay, so it looks like naval attack potentially. G4M1's here. Right, I don't have a combat air patrol over this, but at least we do have destroyers. Okay. 2 of them damaged there. Yeah, they were kind of those torpedoes. Right, flooding increasing there. So we don't see, I did kind of expect a carrier instance again, but it doesn't look like that's going to appear. Trying to deal with the Japanese over here, but we are going for a shock attack, so this will be interesting. We are surrounding the Japanese here, so it's going to be very interesting, but we are taking additional rounds of fire here from the Japanese defenders, but then again, it's like, what do they have? Right, 333 to, yep, destroyed. That went pretty well there. Yep, 805 casualties reported, and we suffered 34. So yeah, looks like shock attacks are the way to go here. There's only 2 units left, so we'll shock attack again. But that's very good there. 25 squads destroyed, 84 destroyed, 17 disabled, 1 destroyed, 1 disabled. 21 guns, yeah, 90 destroyed, 2 disabled, 1 unit destroyed there. Terrain's their benefit, leaders their benefit, disruption, preparation, minuses. This shock gives us that. So another shock attack next turn, and I think we will potentially break them. Oh no, they've been wiped out by attrition there. So the SLF are gone. All that remains on the actual island of Began is just an aviation engineer unit. So yep, shock attack, that's gone. Absolutely gone. And we will have complete control of the island of Began, which is fantastic. So we'll take a look at the next turn in just a moment then. That's really good news. Yep, new tankers and oilers arriving over here at Pearl Harbor. Ooh, APAs. We did have an ammunition. Ooh, additional troop transports, which is actually really good there. So we do have additional forces that have arrived at Pearl Harbor. So that's excellent. Overall, a much less painful turn for us, really, and a significantly more painful for the Japanese. Painful turn for the Japanese there. Not tremendously. He has pulled back his carriers. We will have to go find them. I'm hoping that we will have the time enough to do that, but I really do want to get Began into operation. That's really what I want to do here. Now, let's see. We do have our forces available over here. So what I'm going to do then is set up a amphibious mission here. So we'll grab these guys. Just put them all in just so we can keep them together. So we take a look over here then. What do we have available to actually load up and take out? So if I sort by the assault value, that's not a bad way to sort things out there. So, 3rd Marine Defense Battalion, we do have the 111th RCT, 20th USN, CBs. So I think we will have additional forces arriving in the near future. So if I take a look over here then, so, ground reinforcement schedule. Right, 4 days until I have. So it's going to be a good number of days before we actually have something more significant. So it might be worthwhile just to get the actual assets that we do have in the island moving now. I think what I'll do is load up additional engineers, actually. Probably not a bad idea. We do have base forces over here. That's a pretty big unit. 4 engineer vehicles, 8 engineers. Not really that much there. It's more support than anything else. Marine defense battalions are pretty sweet, but not really required. What I'm going to go ahead and do then is, let's see. It might be worthwhile to actually move these amphibious core headquarters out there. Yeah. Howling man. I love it. Okay. I'm not seeing a command radius here at the moment. So I'm not entirely sure what their command radius is. But they're not very heavy units. It might be worthwhile taking them over there. Theodore Wilkinson. think these are Marines. I think that's what the M suggests. I'm not entirely sure actually how it works with the US forces. We do have engineers over here. 4th Marine Air Wing. Right. Amphibious. Marine AA. Would be nice, but it'll take too long to get over there. I think what we're going to do then is, let's see, what do we have in terms of engineers? I think we had the 20th US and CBs loaded up. Engineer and Aviation Battalion, that's really quite good there. That's really good. 804th EAB, and we'll grab the other ones there as well. Okay, can't quite pick you all up, but that's okay. Do we have enough room to put more troops aboard? Can I grab the 3rd? I can. Can I grab the 5th? Looks like I just might be able to. So we'll verify that load. We'll go with that anyway then. Okay. So once they're ready, that'll be good. Additional engineers are always fantastic. Right, okay. Supposedly that's destroys. I don't know about that. We're still seeing 7 ships over here at Truck. I don't know what he might be potentially doing here. Yeah, there we go. That looks like the Yamato. I'm going to say that Yamato's in here. I don't have eyes on where the carriers are at the moment in time, but we know where they're going to be heading. So we need to stay near the Marianas. Okay. So they're going to continue with the shock attacks. I think one more, and that will be the end of the Japanese forces on the island of Bagan. Looks like repairs are underway, as far as I can tell. We do have a lot of destroyers here. We do actually have the battleships in place as well. The thing is, we do not... I don't think we really want to get into a shooting engagement with the Japanese heavies. I mean, it would... It'd be interesting, I'm not going to lie. It would be immensely interesting, but it's not something we really want to get involved in. We do have some firepower here, but it's one of those things you do not want to get into a into a gun brawl with the Yamato. You are not going to win that. Ah, dear. I mean, Pennsylvania over here, the thing is, it would be welcome to have her guns and her armor. But she's quite heavily damaged. I think speed would be of the essence, but then again, it might be worthwhile actually having her in there. But she's slow. She's very, very slow. I think, to a degree, your armor is really speed. Okay. I'm going to put her into port. So I think she's just too slow. It's a shame, but she's just too slow. So what I'm going to do here, then, is grab the actual big boys. Okay. So New Mexico. The light cruisers and etc. are pretty damn good. I don't think we have any of the cruisers of that nature here. So we'll fill this out with additional destroyers then. Our destroyers are superb. Really high quality destroyers. So we do have a solid force here to defend the island of Bagan, which we are more than likely going to have to do here. I really do anticipate him coming here. Now... do I have a support element? We do have a support element here on Bagan. Yeah, there we go. Don't know if they're loaded, actually. That might be the issue. It doesn't look like they're loaded, actually. That would make sense. Load 10 is on list. Yeah, that's why then they don't have the actual supply here. Right. Support. Yeah, they don't have that. Load supplies. I mean, this puts us in a difficult position because we don't have that much in the way of ammunition. They're definitely moving east. It's only 7 ships, so we do have a lot of ships here. A hell of a lot of ships. So we could potentially take them. We do have aircraft in the vicinity as well, which is very good. So yeah, he's definitely flying his aircraft out from Iwo Jima. His numbers are getting a little bit sparse, aren't they? Right, you're heading for Pagan. Need those boys over there. The additional engineers would be supremely welcome. So we do have the heavy cruisers out here as well. It might be worth sending the heavy cruisers out to join the main body. Wichita and Baltimore would be very good. But I don't think we need that. I think we do have the forces on... well, and the island to defend the island. I mean, it's one of these things. It'd be a hell of a battle. An absolutely tremendous one of that. You don't really want to be there in a shooting. I don't want to entertain the idea, the actual terror that would be actually engaging. We do have battleships that can compete with the Yamato, but nothing really is in the same class as the Yamato. She is her own class. She is her own monster. It does make me wonder here, do we go south of the other carrier group and hunt down his carriers? It might be worthwhile going for that. The issue here is, actually no, it doesn't have detection over carrier group 1. Now, carrier group, this is it. It might be worthwhile having carrier group 1 head south, hunt down the enemy. The thing is, I could operate in these waters over here, but I think that's far too dangerous. We do have our submarines moving to intercept, so I think what we'll do here then is we look towards putting up just a barrier of submarines here. Submarines being really very, very helpful in this circumstance. We do have significant numbers of them. So if we can try and get in the way of the Yamato, that'd be excellent. But the thing is, it's probably not likely. They're probably moving at full speed. I can't see them not doing that. He's not having to consider tomorrow. He's not going to have to consider the day after tomorrow, is he? At least we do have a good number of submarines in the vicinity as well. So that's good news. At least it gives us something to actually play with. I'm hoping that the carriers will be able to respond to the actual threat as it emerges. But I'm going to reposition all the submarines in the vicinity of Pagan. The reason being, if we fill the area with submarines, there's always that chance we can get a strike against her. That's what I'm hoping for. He's probably going to be taking a different route to Pagan as well, so we've got to bear that one in mind. Try and cover all areas around Pagan with submarines as well. And this is it. We do have forces to fight the enemy. At Pagan, we can fight a service battle. It's really not something we want to do, though. We're not fully stocked in ammunition, which is pretty rough. Assuming he's heading for Pagan, we do need to be careful with our carriers. Though I think what we'll do here then, to begin with, I think rather than play back into his game, I think what we'll do is we actually stay near Pagan. But basically, well, I could even move to the other side of the islands here. I could potentially preempt him. But I think what we'll do then is we'll stay close to the island of Pagan. That is where it seems to be heading. If we're able to actually destroy the enemy, that'd be good news. We do have information over them. There's 7 ships in here. These are going to be heavy boys. Okay. And we do have heavy escorts with our carriers. I mean, for God's sakes, we have the Iowa. That is a monster as well. South Dakota, I mean, these do not pull punches. Those are 16-inch armed battleships. They do not blink. You know what I mean? In the face of danger. It might be worthwhile to send a carrier group south. I am tempted to do it. We do have a lot of aircraft in the vicinity. I am tempted to go and hunt big carriers. It could be worthwhile doing. At least then I can come around the rear. Yeah. Though not that close to Guam. Though, you know what, we can do that another day. We can figure out where they are another day. But today we need to survive. That is the target here. We do have a lot of aircraft in the vicinity, so he is in for a rude awakening, should he come to the island. These guys having the time of their lives, I can imagine. Okay. Let's pull back a little bit further, I reckon. I think he might be trying to make it for our carriers, so I'm going to pull them back. Right, patrol this area here. Right, resupply, get moving. Right, so you're gonna head north. You're heading north. I mean, this is it. It just feels like he's going to be heading for our actual forces. So what I'm going to do is actually pull the amphibious forces further back away from him. Make him have to run the gauntlet. If he wants to get to our men, he's going to have to go through the, quite literally the guns of the US Navy there. It's one of these of, well, we have to be prepared to engage him here. It might be worthwhile going through absolute threat. To be honest, they're not going to be ready, so I'm going to have them disbanded just to keep them safe. I think we will set the threat tolerance here to absolute. If he comes to Pagan, we need to be able to fight him. I don't know if he can make it to Pagan. I'm going to hope he can't. But we've got to be ready. I'm not going to have a reaction because the thing is, I don't want to get into a engagement. I'd rather, much rather use aircraft and use submarines. I think it was entirely possible that we can use the submarines to finish this. All the aircraft, so we're just going to have faith there, really. We do have one submarine in the actual path, which is fantastic. Set you to full speed. Ideally, you can engage the enemy. I'm just going to try and preempt where he's going to be. But yeah, we have the submarines moving in from the north as well. He knows this is going to be a hornet's nest. He knows that. Issue is, I'm assuming, I really do feel like he's going to be moving at top speed. I can't see why he wouldn't be moving at full speed. He's going to try and be here at 9. That's what I feel like is going to happen. I mean, once we actually get our forces rearmed, we'll be good to go. But if we can destroy the actual surface elements, the surface forces, that'd be really quite good. The carriers we have more or less, I suppose we've gutted them to a degree. I mean, I can't get complacent because they could and they will show up somewhere. But as long as we remember what the actual goals here are, we should be alright. He has no choice but to fight us. If he gives ground, then we just take control of the area. But this has been really very exciting so far. I feel it will continue to just really up the ante. He's moving ships down there for what reason I really can't ascertain at the moment. It is a little bit concerning, I won't lie. Right. I'm gonna have you actually shipped out of here. You are suffering from the maintenance issues, that is for damn sure. But what I'm gonna do is actually have you move down to the island of, let's say... we'll say about Talawa. The rest of the forces can join them when they arrive. Have them search. At least then we'll have an idea of where the enemy is. Yeah, he's got fighters over here. So if I take a look at the actual intelligence reports, so if we take a look at aircraft losses, you can see that he's suffered the loss of 21 D4Y1 today, 12 A6M5s, 12 A6M2s, 11 A6M5s. We've lost 2 Wildcats and an Avenger, and he also lost a Jake. So you can see he's definitely lost a lot of aircraft today. That's a lot to lose. If we take a look then, so air-to-air losses. So he lost 37 in air-to-air losses today. It's not small numbers, is it? He is fighting though. There's 1 unit left in the Isle of Pigan. We will destroy it. Once it's destroyed, then we can rest here fully and prepare for the next part of the invasion. I think my strategy has been from the start to approach this and focus on one area, really drive home our power there. And I think it is working. I think it's one of those of, I don't know, I mean, there is the force moving to the south there. Moving southeast. Is he trying to confuse me? Is he trying to say, oh, these are the combined fleet carriers? Because he's been working carefully with numbers here. Has been working carefully with them. I mean, to be honest, you look at the numbers here, and these battleships, some of them did get hit last turn. You got hit by the torpedo. Yeah, you got hit by a torpedo, and just look at the damage. They're able to really get themselves back into action. In Alabama did get hit pretty hard there, which is a shame. He does get points for the damage caused. Okay. I'm gonna have you run long range combat air patrol over Pagan. I think we've seen that he is sending aircraft, so we need to reply to that. And we have knocked a lot of them out of the sky, which is good news. We're definitely not seeing the same numbers that we saw the first time. So I think this is it. The first time is always the worst, because that's when he can amass the most numbers. That's when he has the most surprise. We'll see. He's got all these forces here, and I can't help but wonder if they're actually just wrecked, as far as I can see. Though he really has no reason to move them out from Saipan, because then they become targets. But we'll see. We will see. Okay, so if we take a look over here then, so we can see that this is currently our patrol patterns. I'm going to attempt to find it with some submarines as well. We'll see here. He's eventually going to reveal himself. If he heads to Inniwaltok, he's going to definitely know about it. Catalina's working flat out. To be honest, I might even increase our search distance here. It is going to hurt us, but I think if we can identify where the enemy carriers are, the better there, really. But we'll go with that, then. The weather... Let's see. Right, we're looking at partly cloudy. The weather in the area at the moment, yeah, very stormy. The good news is he doesn't have a complete picture of where all our carriers are, which is really good news. Means we can really use that against him. But we'll see. It could be a potentially very exciting turn next turn. So I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you guys for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed this, and if you have enjoyed this, please do let me know down in the comments, and like, favourite, and subscribe. And of course, you can find my channel here on YouTube at XTRG, but you can also find me on Twitch at XTRG. Very much appreciated if you guys would follow me there as well. And if you do enjoy my content, please do consider becoming a patron of mine. Definitely helps me out and helps the channel grow. Until next time, thank you and goodbye. See you next time, guys. Have a beautiful evening and an even better day.